nation's used car destination.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
IRS spokesman Eric Smith says there's a number of good reasons for filing online. One is making it harder for identity thieves to steal your info. But really, e-filing...
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Yo. What's up, man? What's happening?
Oh, we're on the stream already?
Needs to go
we are? Yeah, we're less than a minute away.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Mine's really loud.
Oh, your volume is? Okay, I can turn it up. Hold on.
And that's because the mail is dealing with delays amid the coronavirus pandemic. So when it comes to getting the mail back as fast as possible, you'll want to avoid the mail entirely here. And the direct deposit...
Is that a little better, Joe?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
That's more better. All right.
Wait for a paper check.
You can't make my shit loud enough, dude. I'm sorry, my level. My ship.
Your ship?
Yeah, I can't make my ship loud enough, you know what I mean?
All right.
Short amount of time after that.
I don't want it more, dude. That was fine the way it was.
Okay.
I'm fine now. Leave right there.
All right.
Wonder if you should get tested for colorectal cancer? Well, it's the second leading cancer killer in the U.S. So if you're 50 or older, it's time. Screening helps find precancerous polyps.
I got a haircut yesterday, not happy with it.
So why? It looks beautiful.
A little too short, man, for my liking.
It's too short?
A little too short.
It'll grow back. It'll grow back fast.
Nah,
thanks for the encouraging news there, Gray.
Cancer screening really does save.
Actually, you know, it really does look screwed up now that I see. Wow.
You jackass. Why do I bother sharing my personal stuff with you, okay? You just jump in and redeem me.
Whoa.
5 seconds. Yeah. Turn the phone volume down, please.
All the Facebook streamers, man, you guys are jumping on this thing already. Good morning to you.
Wake up, friend.
Wake up. I want to wake up. I woke up this morning, baby. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up to the sound of music. Wake up, Mr. Sleepyhead.
You're waking up to the Nautical Ventures Weekly Fisherman Show with expert troller Eric Brandon.
Here comes the king of hits.
Plus extreme angler Joe Hector.
This is more than we bargained for.
Powered by Mercury Marine. And brought to you by Pompano Ford and Pompano Lincoln. An easy way to car. To talk to fellow fishing fans, call 866-801-0940 or send us a message on the Nautical Ventures Facebook page. It's the Nautical Ventures Weekly Fisherman Show.
Oh, yeah.
Little Pee Wee Herman, huh?
I dance really bad, man, but I can actually shake this skinny bod to this tune, man.
It's a good tune. I like it.
I like it, man. Welcome back to our show, folks. Saturday morning, as always. Stephen J. Gray flying this crazy thing behind the glass.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Mr. Gray, good morning to you. Joe Hector, welcome back to the seat, bro.
Feels good to be back.
You were jamming last Saturday, my brother.
Yeah.
I mean, you were just rocking it.
Yeah, we had an awesome event.
You did.
I was actually shocked, to be totally honest, because, I thought it would be, I knew it would be good, but I just didn't think it would be at the almost like a Summer Slam level type good.
And tell the folks the exotic bass roundup we're speaking of.
Yeah, so we're talking about the exotic bass roundup, and that was our tournament last Saturday. That's why I wasn't here. Hopefully you guys watched that, and I was there. You guys did we did a live stream.
Oh, great. It was great, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Where'd you find that crazy-ass hat you were wearing, by the way?
That hat was beautiful.
You should have wore the hat today,
flowers
man.
around the inside.
I have it in the truck. I was really thinking about it.
It was very special.
Yeah, it was a special hat.
It was a special hat, I must say.
Stop.
So it I thought... Oh, my goodness.
That's us, man.
I thought, given the tropical theme of the event,
it was
the
tropical.
flower,
yeah.
It was a loud hat.
Like a Copacabana tropical.
Yeah. People were ordering those things,
Joe.
Man. They loved it. You got to see the comments.
I'm sure they are, man.
It was
quite the hit. I know.
Yeah, it was the hit of the show.
Like a tournament was the hit, man.
Correct.
We're going to talk about that more in the show later on.
Yes, definitely. But it was great.
But number 2 coming up, you're planning now for the big offshore deal.
Yeah, now we got another one right around the corner. Right? Yep.
You just can't rest, man.
June 19th, we got the Summer Slam. That's the big one.
Yeah.
And we're excited. We've been working on that heavily, especially because of COVID and stuff last year.
Sure.
We weren't really able to have it the way we normally have it. Right. So now we're back to having the big stage, the event type atmosphere that we love. That's what makes us who we are.
Standing. By the way, folks, the theme of the show today is the greatest catch of all time, Joe. and asking everybody who's on the show, every captain, what their greatest catch is.
Sure.
It's like asking you what your favorite meal was. I mean, it's got to be a hard thing to nail down, just one. I'm sure I'm going to talk about you. Probably have something on your mind you've caught that was your greatest thing of all time.
I would say yes.
I said Gray may have a crazy-ass story about something.
Oh, yeah. Probably. I got a story. It's one of a kind, yes.
I bet you. I got my own as well.
I was going to say, I'm sure you got a...
We all got our story, man.
Pretty
the greatest
good one.
catch of all time. So we'll check it out as the show goes on.
Let's do it.
Starbright Bucket coming up at 7:15, which we'll do the magic number on. So we got a lot of stuff going on here, bro. Big time. This is our first cap every weekend. The great, the amazing Jimbo Thomas on a Thomas Flyer. Jimbo, good morning, bro.
How's it going, Jimbo?
Good morning, guys. I'm great. Looks like it's going to be another beautiful day. And I'm excited, man. The fishing's been really good the last few days. The weather's been spectacular. So I can't even sleep when it's like that. I'm ready to go always.
So what's on the catch plate this week? What have you been bringing in?
We've had sailfish pretty much every single day. If we haven't caught them, we've at least had sailfish bites every day. Some nice blackfin tunas up in the high 20s. Some nice kingfish up in the high 20s. A lot of bonitas, barracudas, miscellaneous, what I consider junk. But no mahis at all, which really isn't uncommon for right now.
Right.
But it's been very good fishing. We've been live baiting the edge of the Gulf Stream. The current's been running good. The water's been blue. So we've had the conditions that we all look for, which is the blue water and the north current. And getting those live baits, putting them under the kite, and just whatever swims by and bites, we'll take. But it's been it's been good action. For weeks, I know we were talking about how slow it was and crying and moping because we couldn't catch anything. But it's like it's supposed to be right now for this time of the year.
And I noticed too, it hasn't rained. So I mean, when was the last time it rained?
It's dry, bro.
Oh man, yeah, but that's good for fishing, especially like where I'm at in Pompano and stuff, because all that when it rains and we get that rainy season, all that crap comes out of the
changes the whole water system.
Yeah, it comes out of the intercoastal out into the ocean, and then it just pushes everything out.
It's a mess.
So it's clean right now.
Clean, dude.
For down here in the Miami area, I don't think at least for offshore, which I'm doing, the rain really doesn't make any difference. Now in the bay, yes, the spillway canals will be moving, but then the snook come in there as well, so that's good and bad. That we're dumping all that fresh water, but it gets the snook biting at least. So for the offshore, the rain really doesn't have a whole lot to do with it. We might get some green water on the reef, but out in the deep water, doesn't matter. I always say the fish are already wet, so it doesn't matter.
I love that, man. Hey, Jimbo, we're theming a show called The Greatest Catch of All Time.
Catch of all.
Wow. That was amazing.
The production value of the show.
How did that voice just came out?
When he plays these tunes, man, it just brings that out of me, bro. But
that was
the greatest catch of all.
Look at that. You got the layers to that. Amazing.
We play the rock stuff, man. That's when you jump in with your rap, okay? That's when I can't even touch you, man. But, Jimbo, you have one moment in your life, man, where you had just the greatest catch of all time?
Well, I've had so many epic, awesome days and catches. It's hard to pinpoint one, but one that comes to mind, we were over in Bimini marlin fishing, and it was slick mirror calm. I mean, a sheet of glass as far as you could see. And we get a double header, but they were nice-sized mahis on our marlin base. We were trolling with big horse ballyhoos. So we're fighting these mahis, which were roughly 20 pounds. I see all this commotion, and one of the mahis is jumping. I'm like, man, there's something chasing that thing. And there's a blue marlin chasing the mahi.
Wow.
So the marlin eats the dolphin, and which is not uncommon. But I told the guys, I said, well, he's just going to hold on to it for a little bit, and when he's tired of swimming around with this thing pulling on his lips, he's going to let go of it. But half an hour later, we're still fighting, and I'm like, well, somehow this marlin must have got hooked, even though the hook was in the dolphin's mouth. Maybe a little piece of it was hanging out, and regardless, so we hooked this marlin, and we're fighting it for an hour, say. It was on a 50-pound test. we get them up fairly close to the boat, and there's a big thump on the line. And I'm like, oh, man, a shark must have just ate our marlin. So we reel the marlin up, and sure enough, his tail is gone.
Okay.
And the only thing that'll do that is a mako shark. And I said, there must be a mako shark around here.
Damn.
So we get a little kingfish gaff. We got this marlin, about a 180-pound blue marlin. Got him up on the side of the boat, missing his tail. You know, he's a goner at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, here comes this big mako shark, comes swimming right up to the boat.
Oh, God.
And we kind of slab off this marlin, put it on a big rod, throw it in the water. This mako shark swims around the boat for 45 minutes, an hour maybe. Slick calm, like I said, you could just see a mile down into the water. And he would not eat this. And at this point, we had pulled what's left of the marlin in the boat, and we're pretty much given up. And the shark had been gone for a few minutes, and I looked down, and I'm like, oh, he's back. And the bait had sunk down about 50 feet. And I'm looking, I go, he's swimming by the bait. Oh, man, he just ate it. So now we got this mako on, and we fight this mako, and we catch him. He was about 300 pounds.
Damn.
Oh, my God.
And so it went from the mahi to the marlin to the mako. We got the whole food chain.
That is
That
3
is a
M's.
story,
Pretty
man.
epic.
The 3 M's, yeah, right?
I mean, should any of us even talk about our stories anymore? I mean,
think
that was...
it's hard to top that already. Jimbo, that was great, man. That was a great story. I need to ask our captains, though, to keep their stories under 15 minutes.
Because our bouncer's coming up.
Okay. Okay. Jimbo, we got to take a break, man. We're late, but I love the story,
epic.
man. That was epic. No doubt about it. Yeah, that's a great story, bro. Man, oh, man. And, of course...
All right. Well, I'm going to be listening in for the next one.
All right. Thanks, Jimbo. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Jimbo.
All right, buddy. Joe, we'll take a little break.
All right,
We're a little
good
bit
luck,
late,
everybody.
and come back with Chelsea Hagan out of Texas. I'm sure she's got a story to tell.
Sure.
All of our caps got great stories. Folks on the stream, good morning to you on Facebook. We're at Nautical Ventures, by the way. Log on to Nautical Ventures website.
Yep.
And you watch the stream there as well. Share if you care.
Correct.
940 listeners, thanks very much.
Give us a like. Give us a comment.
Please, we love you guys. 610 and 940 wins Miami Sports.
South Florida fishermen know that this is blue water country, where big fish, big water, and big expectations sit right offshore. So we build blue water boats for the blue water fishermen, where yacht-grade construction meets 21st century technology. And compromise? Well, we leave that for the other guys. You can customize your own blue water boat by visiting BlueWaterSportFishingBoats.com and discover why boating is better on a blue water.
I'm a father.
I'm an aunt. I'm a neighbor.
I'm a veteran. But out here, on the water,
I'm operating the boat.
a boat operator. I'm a safe operator.
The operator.
If you're behind the wheel of a boat, you only have one job: keep everyone safe. Always scan the water and be aware of your surroundings. Learn more about boating safety at myfwc.com. Brought to you by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission.
If you're wanting to spend more time on the water, then check out the new 2021 lineup of Sailfish Center Console, Dual Console, and Walk-Around boats. For nearly 4 decades, Sailfish boats have been catching their limit along Florida's southeast coast, and the new 272 Center Console and 27 Dual Console continue this proud offshore heritage. With head-turning styling, top-tier construction, and incredible on-the-water performance, Sailfish boats feature the legendary Deep V variable degree stepped hull, intelligent ergonomics throughout, and a list of standard features that make Sailfish the best value among upper-tier brands. Deep gunnels, comfortable seating, roomy heads, plenty of storage, solid construction, and incredible performance all make Sailfish boats a must-see. Fishing focused and family friendly, Sailfish boats are versatile. Enjoy hardcore fishing in the morning, afternoon wakeboarding with the kids, and a sunset cruise with friends, all with one boat. So if you're in the market for a new boat, the entire Sailfish line is specially priced, making this the best time to join the Sailfish family. Visit sailfishboats.com for more information or to find a Sailfish dealer near you.
No Outboard moves from 0 to top speed quicker than a Mercury V8 300 horsepower Pro XS, featuring generous displacement and a performance-tuned powerhead for industry-leading acceleration and top speed. In South Florida, the 300 horsepower Pro XS is perfect for bay and flats boats when you need to cover a lot of water fast. Pro XS simply can't be beat when it comes to performance and reliability. The 300 horsepower Pro XS has everything you need to travel faster, farther, and harder.
Remember the glory days of gasoline? It's just not made the same anymore.
Kick your gas into gear with StarTron. Pump up the performance in all of your engines. Cure the problems of ethanol with the power of enzymes. And maximize your mileage every time you drive. Kickstart your engines with StarTron.
Calling all captains, mates, and landlubbers. Shenanigans Sports Pub and Shenanigans Eastside Pub is open for business. Get out of quarantine and get into our award-winning burgers, voted #1 by Travel Pulse. Treat yourself to the best chicken wings in Florida, as voted by MSN.com. Our seafood is so fresh, you'll think it just came off the boat, because it did. And our prime rib sandwich, it'll stick to your ribs. All served up by the weekly Fisherman Chef du Jour. We offer great craft cocktails, microbrew beers, $3 pints of Bud Light, and the only Corona you'll find here comes in an ice-cold brew. Don't want to eat in? Call ahead and use our convenient drive-thru for speedy takeout service. So get yourself out of quarantine and get yourself into Shenanigans. Shenanigans Eastside on US 1 in Dania, or Shenanigans Sports Pub at Sheridan and Park in Hollywood. Shenanigans, your pub for good grub.
This spring, there's an outside chance you're ready for some outside projects.
Hey, you got a few minutes, gentlemen, to say hello to our Facebook friends and family.
This thing is lit up this morning, Joe. We got a lot of folks just jumping on the screen. Thanks, guys, very much. Al Fernandez, Robert Sylvia, Elon Tal, your neighbor.
Yeah, good morning, Elon.
Lori Wagner's got a story. She says greatest catch of all time was a red fish out of Steinhatchee, 32 pounds, and had to throw him back.
Are you one of the
25-pound drum in Cedar Key. That's pretty damn good, I'd say. Yeah.
Jeez. Align Healthy Gut Team Up and see how healthy your gut can feel. Align contains a quality.
My greatest catch, by the way, is not that great, but it's very unique.
We don't really care. I mean, yeah, great.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. I see how it's going to be.
That's how it's going to be, bro.
Let me check something real quick.
Do you even fish?
Dude, what happened to that hair?
Shut up my hair, man, okay? I lost some of it yesterday. A lot of it.
I think it looks good.
In Miami.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, I like it.
It's time for the Nautical Ventures Weekly Fisherman Show, powered by Mercury Marine.
To me, there's nothing better than to spend all of my time out on the water.
With waterman Eric Brandon.
Cause that's where I get my kicks out on the water.
And extreme angler Joe Hector.
Hey, it's my residence.
Call your resident fishing experts, Eric and Joe, at 866-801-0940 and get hooked up.
You know where we'd be spending our weekend?
Brought to you by Pompano Ford and Pompano Lincoln. An easy way to car.
Don't wanna waste my time or a single dime on something high and dry out on the water.
Want to see the show live? Go to the Nautical Ventures Facebook page.
Old school here, man. I like it. Welcome back to the show. Joe Hector, me, Eric Brandon with the Don't Make Fun of My Hair, Gray.
What happened, dude?
Stop it. I had a haircut yesterday, man.
Did they shave the sides? I don't know if it was... Was it a... No, I'm just... It's.
I have a personal stylist who comes to my home and does my hair,
Did you have to plug that hair in?
No, man. The glue holding it down is really a pain in the ass to put on in the morning. We have to put that piece on and glue it down.
I thought I smelled that Gorilla Glue going on there.
Show theme is the greatest catch of all time. Jimbo had a great story about the mahi and the shark and the whole deal.
Do you want to go next? Because
I'll hold off to the end.
I'm going to hold off.
Is that bad?
Well, I mean, his was epic. Like, you have a monster mahi, and then you go from having a nice mahi to a marlin, and then from a marlin to a mako, which is like the dream shark for most people. I mean, they're beautiful. If people don't know what a mako is, Google it right now. They're like purple. They're beautiful.
Fastest shark in the ocean, by the way.
Oh, really?
It is the fastest.
Did not know that.
It's the fastest shark in the ocean, man, by far. Yeah, they
black eyes.
Got that streamlined bod, dude. They're great.
Yeah.
So again, if you guys got a story to share on Facebook, we'd love to hear about that and share it.
Definitely.
Lori Wagner gave us one.
Tell us your stories, guys.
And we'll share with you. So again, the show is just rocking. Chelsea Hagen, she had a little delay system going on. She's in Texas, so
gotcha.
Hook up eventually. But you want to roll your story now, or you want to wait till later?
I knew it was coming.
Yeah. No.
I got to go right after that.
You want to go do that?
All right, I'm going to go.
All right, go ahead.
We got time?
You got time, and and actually Chelsea's dialing in right now, so we'll have her very shortly here.
Okay, all right.
You got like a minute and a half.
Okay, I'll make it kind of short. So I went out offshore kayak fishing. This is when I first started getting into the sport.
Yeah.
And I literally, I think I only went out like 2 or 3 times before I went out this time.
Right.
I went out straight out of Pompano, and normal day. Problem was, I was having problems all morning. My aerator and my bucket went out, so all my live bait was dead. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this sucks. You know, I had an old bag of the sardines.
Yeah.
Just stinky old bag, and
Nasty
sometimes
bait.
I would chum with them, you know, whatever.
I got it.
So I'm like, this is before I was using jigs at the time, so this is a while back.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to throw on one of these sardines, if it even will stay on the hook.
Right.
So I throw it on, I let it out. I have a shotgun, so it's out pretty far. And all of a sudden, literally, I would say 20 minutes in, I'm sitting there diddling on my phone, doing my thing, you know, playing my 70s rock. And all of a sudden, man, I noticed my kayak, I didn't hear it because I guess I was just so in tune to the phone or whatever, but my kayak was going backwards.
Oh, boy.
And then I kind of like, I turn, and my rod is digging.
Banging, right.
And so the kayak's kind of turning on its own once you get that.
Yeah.
The problem was the rod was like stuck in the holder, so I'm like trying to pull it out as the kayak's kind of digging and turning. So I get it out of the rod holder.
What the hell was on the hook, man?
And then, all of a sudden, I see a monster mahi-mahi, 30-plus pounds.
Oh, dude, wow.
Coming up out of the water, not all the way. You know when they're so big, they don't get fully out because they're just so fat, and it's a big male with a monster head.
Huge.
He was like white and teal blue. I could not believe what I saw on my hook. So now my heart's in my throat, and all of a sudden, line slack. He's off.
No.
I go, no, this can't be happening. No. And all of a sudden, he's back on. Jumps again. So he's on. Now I'm fighting him again.
Right.
Comes off again.
Come on, Joe.
I swear to God.
Okay.
Literally, there must have been a piece of fish like that much left on the hook because the sardine, they were old, you know? Right. So came back, took it again for a third time, finally was hooked good.
Yeah.
I'm fighting him. I get him to the kayak. Now I'm making this really short. I get him to the side. I don't have my gaff. I forgot my gaff.
Oh, God.
So I'm like, okay, this fish is a monster. He's as long as me almost. His head is like this wide.
Right.
How am I going to get him in the boat? So now I got the line. I know he's going to come off soon. So I didn't have a stinger rig. It was just a little circle hook, and I could see that it was loose on his mouth. So I said, you know what, that's it. So I just grabbed him. I threw him in. Goes crazy, starts beating me up.
Oh, man.
So I said, you know what, I've had it. And I punched him in the head, and I
Oh, my God, violence.
And then I knocked it out, like literally cold.
Yeah.
And then he was out. And then to end the story, I'm sitting there, my chest is killing me. I literally had like a bruise here because his head was smacking on my chest.
He's pissed, yeah.
He was pissed.
Yeah.
And then I got pissed.
Okay.
And then, so we fought a little bit, and then I went to go to gut him to bleed him out, you know, just because it was going to take me a while to get back in. The current was strong that day.
Sure.
Long story short, and this is why I haven't eaten mahi that much. I cut him open.
Yeah.
And these white worms about this long pour onto me.
God.
Pour. Literally all over.
Man,
they pour onto me. They're like this long. Oh, and they're all over me. And you know, like they're like trying to like dig in me, and like they're all over, and I'm throwing them off, and it's just nasty.
Sounds like a nightmare.
It was. I guess this fish was just old. Maybe he was sick. I don't know. It had these parasite worms that just poured out. And
hope you guys are enjoying that scrambled eggs you're having, man.
Eric, what do you think about this story? I just want to say,
I smell bulls.
Oh, Joe, that's a great story, dude.
But that's probably my weirdest yet craziest story. It was one of my best fish. It made it in a bunch of magazines in the past, and that's what really propelled extreme kayak fishing, to be honest, that fish. And,
I've seen squid and mahi bellies. I've seen pilchards and ballyhoo, other things. I've never seen a whole big bag of nasty ass.
Oh, it was nasty.
Belly full of worms, man.
Yeah, they were like white. God. Yeah, it was gross.
Nasty.
I got pictures of it.
I know you do. You picture everything.
Yeah, of course.
Chelsea, you
no, she was online and disappeared. So,
all right. So we'll give her a few more minutes, and we'll go ahead and
do your
back
story
on the show. No, I'll do my story later, but I want to follow up on the end of that story. You got it back to the dock, right? You went back to fillet this fish.
Oh yeah.
And when were all the worms gone by that point?
Yeah. I mean, they came out. I cleared it out, and I didn't know if it was in the meat or not. To be honest, I didn't eat the fish. I gave a lot of it away to friends.
Oh, how generous, man, giving worm-infested mahi to your neighbors.
No, but, it's...
Sharing is caring.
You cook it.
Yeah,
you're not going to eat it raw, right?
Wait, here's the thing. If you won't try it, why the hell would you give it to your neighbor? I mean,
he's that kind of guy.
He's just a real kind of...
I don't want to say who I gave it to either, just because...
Oh, here we go.
The in-laws.
They might get mad.
The in-laws got it, Joe.
Yeah.
You know how that works, right?
Just so you guys know, it was fresh and it was nice.
Fresh and wormy.
Sounds disgusting, man. All right, we'll take a break or come back with Danny Ramos. Chelsea Hagen.
Let me tell you, I'm not taking anything from Joe anymore. Remember
I knew that was
candies
coming.
from the holidays?
Yeah.
And we thought they were good?
You know what? I wish I had one of those airline barf bags right on the set, because I got hurl right now, dude. That's just that nasty.
Man.
I'm just thinking of those damn worms. It's freaking me out.
What about the epic fish or the fight?
No, you brought the worms up, man.
Worms.
You killed it, man. The worms just took the whole story away from the mahi catch, man.
I know. I didn't know if I should tell the end, but you know what? I told the whole story. And they were long. Like, I don't know what kind of worms.
And by the way, when you pounded that mahi in the head like that...
Oh, I got him.
We've got PETA on line 1. Thank you. Okay.
People eating tasty animals.
Oh, man. All right, we'll shut up right now. Come back with more. I'm ready to chum, dude. 6:25. 940 wins Miami.
Yeah.
Sports.
From the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer Weather Center.
Beautiful beach weather for our Saturday, mostly sunny skies, and it's going to get hot, high of 91. Tonight we're going to have a low of 72, mostly cloudy skies tomorrow with a high of 92.
This report is sponsored by America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses.
Don't overpay for glasses. Get 2 pairs and a free exam for just $69.95. The exam alone is worth $50. That's not just a better deal. It's America's Best. Book your exam online today.
In certain states, eye exams provided by independent optometrists or ophthalmologists. See store for details.
When it comes to kayak fishing, Nautical Ventures knows what you need to catch fish. They carry top brands from Hobie, Ocean, Wilderness, Old Town, Perception, Necky, and are experts in rigging your kayak. They'll customize your kayak with fishing amenities, lights, depth finders, and anything else that fits your personal fishing style. Nautical Ventures has the largest and latest selection of kayaks and accessories in stock, and you can try it before you buy it in their exclusive Aqua Zone. Go to nauticalventures.com for more details. Nautical Ventures, the go-to people for kayak fishing.
Mercury Verado 400 horsepower outboards are built to power the largest boats for the boldest adventures on the water. Verado's proven supercharged powerhead delivers pure marine muscle for unequaled whole shot and superior top speed. Yet Verado 400 remains true to its roots, delivering the best overall boating experience with an advanced midsection that virtually eliminates vibration, while acoustic engineering on the cowl intake and exhaust minimize sound. Test drive Mercury's 400 horse Verado today.
If you're looking to breathe new life into your boat, new motors will open up a whole new world. Nautical Ventures has several repowering options to fit your needs and budget. They carry the top brands including Mercury, Yamaha, Tohatsu, and a wide range of horsepower to give you all the speed you could need. Plus, they offer repower finance programs with affordable, low monthly payments. Contact Nautical Ventures today and talk to their pros about repower options. Call 954-926-5250 or go to nauticalventures.com. Nautical Ventures, the go-to people for power.
I'm George Poveromo, and I've made washing and detailing my boat an art. I'll avoid dish soap, which quickly strips away protective wax coating and even begins eating into the gel coat. For me, it's Starbright Boat Washes exclusively. They're specifically formulated to keep boat surfaces impeccably clean and protected without stripping wax finishes. Available in pine, citrus, and blueberry scents. Go to starbright.com to find a retailer near you. Starbright. Clean and protect.
Calling all captains, mates, and landlubbers. Shenanigans Sports Pub and Shenanigans Eastside Pub is open for business. Get out of quarantine and get into our award-winning burgers, voted #1 by Travel Pulse. Treat yourself to the best chicken wings in Florida, as voted by MSN.com. Our seafood is so fresh, you'll think it just came off the boat, because it did. And our prime rib sandwich, it'll stick to your ribs. All served up by the weekly Fisherman Chef du Jour. We offer great craft cocktails, microbrew beers, $3 pints of Bud Light, and the only Corona you'll find here comes in an ice-cold brew. Don't want to eat in? Call ahead and use our convenient drive-thru for speedy takeout service. So get yourself out of quarantine and get yourself into Shenanigans. Shenanigans Eastside on US 1 in Dania, or Shenanigans Sports Pub at Sheridan and Park in Hollywood. Shenanigans, your pub for good grub.
My wife, Anne-Marie, and I started J.R. Dunn Jewelers 50 years ago.
It was a very difficult decision leaving our jobs that I did.
All right. We got a little time here, gentlemen. You want to say hello to anybody?
Everybody's replying about Joe's story like Joe.
Joe,
yeah. Way too much, Joe, for this time of the morning.
And too much information on the worm giveaway,
what?
too.
Yeah, they're all saying that worm thing just got them, dude. They're all seriously, like, having upset stomachs.
Who wants any free fish from Joe?
Yeah, with a side of worms, man. I'll have a baked mahi with a side of white worms. And, some dipping sauce, thank you.
You know, yeah, it was pretty nasty.
Well, you know, at least we got that story on and it's off. We can kind of move forward now.
Sure.
Well,
if you think about it like
nobody
this.
else has got a story that gross coming up on the program.
There has to be one more gross than that.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I've seen some pretty gross stuff out there, man.
I get it grosser than Rosie O'Donnell fishing on the back of a boat. Other than that, that's pretty gross.
Speaking of Rosie,
40 wins.
You're catching all the fish because you're tuned into the Nautical Ventures Weekly Fisherman Show, powered by Mercury Marine.
Catch all the fish, drink all the beer, anchor down, staying here.
With your hosts, two legendary fishermen, Eric Brandon and Joe Hector.
Oh, I certainly admire people who do things.
Brought to you by Pompano Ford and Pompano Lincoln, an easy way to car.
You're just the guy I want to see.
Glad you're here. Drop the guys a line at 866-801-0940.
One ringy dingy.
And now, while you drink all the fish and catch all the beer,
Come on, pull yourself together.
it's back to Eric Brandon and Joe Hector on the Nautical Ventures Weekly Fisherman Show.
Oh, it'll petrified right now. Yeehaw!
Ding it on, ding, ding, dong, dong, dong.
Welcome back to the disgusting show here this morning. It's been quite gross, I must say, after Joe's story. I'm looking at the Facebook stream. People are going like...
they must love it, right?
Well, most are saying Joe was disgusting. One guy came to your rescue and said, Nick Triolo says, come on, people, leave Joe alone.
Yeah.
He's got your back, dude.
Thanks,
Okay?
buddy.
Yeah, baby. So,
That's right.
Worms and mahi. What a great thought for breakfast.
Well, you know, you think of mahi, right?
Yeah,
you think of just nice, clean meat, good eating fish. I'm telling you guys the real nitty-gritty behind mahi-mahi, okay? Think of it like that.
Not
I'm
many
saving
guys
you people.
catch mahi with worms in the belly, Joe. I've caught 1 billion of them, okay?
Okay, yeah, maybe that's true.
All right?
Yeah.
Whatever, but...
Well, Lance just caught one
It'll
with
be in
like
my
a
head.
bottle in it. It had like a beer can and like...
It's going to be in my mind all morning long now. Those worms.
It's a
actually,
very
they've subliminally
disturbing
infected
image.
my brain.
Yeah, they just...
And if you're just tuning in, our topic this morning is...
Catch them all. Everybody in the audience has got a story, Joe, in their fishing lifetime of their greatest catch of the lifetime. A lot of folks are sharing on the Facebook stream, but we've all had one. Even Grace, something caught him rather than him catching it. That story's coming up on the program.
Yeah, I was going to ask, Steven, you're going to do your story next?
Yeah, I'll do my story when you guys are ready for my quality story.
Okay. Can't wait, bro.
Okay.
Meantime, I think Danny Ramos on the Blue Dream is all set to talk about some manly stuff on the water this week. He's had a good week fishing.
Yeah.
Danny Ramos, amigo. Good morning to you.
Danny, what's up, bud?
Good morning, guys. How's you guys doing?
Doing great, Danny. Listen, I want to talk about your fishing exploits, but let me ask you something. In all your fishing years, have you ever seen a mahi open his belly up and there's worms coming out of it?
Oh, no.
I thought not. I thought not.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, Danny gaffed an eyeball. That's rare.
Well, that
right?
Yeah. I'll take an eyeball over a worm any day of the week, dude.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, Danny, welcome to the show. We love you to death, man. The Blue Dream's an amazing machine out there in the water. You've been fishing this week. What's going on, man?
It's been going good. I fished quite a bit last week. I went ahead and took all my request bookings that I had last week, and it was one after another for me. We had some good weather. The fishing, the bite for me was okay, but we caught some quality fish. Got a nice cobia. We got some muttons, some pretty decent muttons. We got a lot of throwbacks, but we got some keeper muttons. The kingfish, we got a couple blackfin. And then the kings too as well are still around. Some nice sized kings are still around, and then we've been busting those up as well. But all in all, I went out to the sword ground last week. I guess I was on the radio with you guys on the way out with the man that's been on the mission for the sword, and it was a slow day. Anytime around the new moon, I always cringe my teeth because I haven't had much luck on that new moon. Last week, so I had an Escalar on at one point. We waited about 5 hours maybe for that one bite. I had him on.
Wow.
And I pulled him off maybe about, I would say about 100 revs out or 200 revs out from the boat. And then we had one bite at the sword that was a sword bite, and she couldn't get him to hook. So they weren't committing to the baits. That seems to be the problem with me, at least. On the new moon, it seems like the fish are not committing fully to the bait, just kind of playing with it, and it was okay. But we landed, some fish, but it wasn't, nothing to go home and crazy about. But it was all in all okay for me.
How big were the cobia?
The cobia wasn't as big as the other one that I caught prior. It was maybe about, I would say, 15 pounds.
Okay, all right.
To 12, around that range. The one I caught about 2 weeks prior was about 30. So that was a bigger one, but they're still around. I caught him down at the bottom, the long leader, so he wasn't up on the top. It's definitely a nice surprise when you're bringing something up from the from the bottom, and it's a nice cobia. Good food, that's for sure.
Well, Danny, I know you've had some great fishing exploits in your time fishing offshore and close to shore, whatever else. But do you have a greatest catch of all time story you want to share with the audience this morning?
Yeah, I mean, every fish that you catch is a decent fish. You kind of always remember, inch by inch, how that fish was caught. Right. Just by looking at the picture, you can always tell what went on to catch that fish. But I mean, I guess I would say, the ultimate fish was actually just caught recently out of all my years of fishing. Was probably that big 370-pound sword.
Oh yeah,
just because
monster.
Yeah, just because it was by myself. Technically by myself. I was with a girl, but she was, like I said, had the phone on her hand recording the whole thing. So I basically, it was just me and him, punch for punch. It was like a battle, that 4.5 hour battle. It was a great story as far as it was a sword trip. The customers went ahead and canceled. They bailed out last minute on me. And I was just I had all my gear ready, and the moon was right. Everything was right where I think that, it was worth to come out, do that 20-mile trip out there to the middle of the Gulf Stream. And within the second drop, I see a bite, and I hook up, but I didn't expect what was going to take place after that. And basically, it was a fight for 4.5 hours and took me 13 miles.
Damn.
Drifted. Just me and him alone, and basically crossing my fingers and praying to God that whatever was on here didn't come off, after the first hour, after the second hour, after the third hour, 4.5 hours, and the death roll, going around in circles for a good 45 minutes to an hour, along with that fish, and then harpooning it, gaffing it, doing everything all by myself was, to me, probably
epic.
The most memorable fish I could say. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's epic.
That was epic.
Yeah, that was the greatest
By the way,
catch
we
of
are
all.
showing the picture of that fish between you guys right now. That's the one we use with Danny every time.
That's that big beast he's on the boat.
Yeah,
but again,
it's a
he
monster.
had to pull that fish over the gunnels by himself.
Jeez.
Think about yanking 370 pounds out of the water, dude.
Nice.
Okay, seriously.
that dead weight's like 500 or 600 pounds is what it seems like. But yeah, that was awesome. I mean, definitely was a great fish. Just me and him. Mano a mano, I guess you could say.
It's like Hemingway wrote a new book called The Young Man in the Sea. Yeah, basically.
I like that.
Oh, nice.
Thank you very much. But Danny, great story, my friend. You fishing this weekend? Are you staying on land, or what's planned?
Well, today I'm taking off today. I kind of have a meeting. I'm working on some new things coming up. So I have a meeting today at noon. But tomorrow, I am going to be out there all day. I got a nice game plan for these guys coming from Louisiana, and they're flying down just to come down and fish with me, which is kind of humbling. But they want the swordfish, and they want to kind of bend the rod. So kind of have a good game plan for tomorrow, and I believe the bite's going to be really good on all cylinders. Cool. The moon, the tide, everything like that. So I'm going to do a little bit of everything, and hopefully I'll get some pretty good footage for you guys, too, as well. For sure.
Yeah, please share that, Danny.
The bite's good.
Yeah, the pressure's on when you have folks flying out of state to fish for a particular fish like a swordfish. Yeah. And it's on him to produce tomorrow, man.
Sure.
A lot of pressure, brother. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But if anybody can do it.
Hey, and Joe, congrats on your tournament, man. I saw that on social media, man.
Thank you.
Great, man. Everything turned out really, really well, man. Congrats on that.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. That was. We'll talk more about that as the show goes on.
Yeah.
I went out there and saw Joe at the very end with the wrap up of the whole tournament and how crazy that got and all the excitement, and people were just juiced, man.
Oh yeah,
it was a fun event, man.
Yeah, it was nuts.
I just caught the tail end of it, but I heard prior it was amazingly fun. Yeah,
the shoot off is the best part.
Oh, it's got to be.
Because we blast the music. Yeah. We had a pretty girl with a sign, doing the countdown. So as I was announcing, she was, holding up the big cards.
Is that sort of like the girl in the boxing ring who walks around between rounds? Ding dong, this chick walks out. Yeah, great.
That's my style. That's my style.
That's Joe Hector's style, baby, and Danny Ramos. Danny, have a great day, brother. We love you the show, man. You're the man, dude.
All right, guys. You guys have a good one.
You're the man.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Fun stuff so far this morning on the program, man.
That was a good story. Solid.
Solid story. I mean, by himself, dude. Manhandle. It's like you with that mahi. You had to bring that bad boy in your kayak on your own.
He said the same thing. It's like
about 30 pounds is a nice big fish in a kayak with no gaff.
Sure.
That was tough to bring in.
Oh.
He's wrangling 370 pounds of swordfish over the gunnel. Yeah. That's going to be rough.
Exactly.
So
that's what makes it great.
I'm the old guy with the bad back. You guys should be having bad backs instead of me, man. You know what I mean?
I'm getting there.
You're yanking, you're doing, man. Yeah. We'll take a little break, come back with more on the program. It's been fun so far. 6:40 on the nose, and 9:40 wins Miami Sports.
Remember the glory days of gasoline? It's just not made the same anymore.
Kick your gas into gear with StarTron. Pump up the performance in all of your engines. Cure the problems of ethanol with the power of enzymes. And maximize your mileage every time you drive. Kickstart your engines with StarTron.
Nothing beats the thrill of extreme kayak fishing, with little standing between you and fighting a monster fish. And when it comes to kayak fishing, nothing beats a Hobie with its hands-free Mirage Drive propulsion system. Nautical Ventures is your exclusive Hobie dealer for Broward and Palm Beach. They have the widest selection of models and accessories to make your Hobie uniquely yours. They're rigged by our in-house experts who fish the tournaments. They know what it takes to win. Go to nauticalventures.com to learn more. Nautical Ventures, the go-to people for Hobie.
Hear that? That's the sound of confidence. The sound of confidence brought to you by Nationwide Battery. For over 30 years, boaters and fishermen have counted on Nationwide to fire up their engines, to keep their electronics going, week after week, year after year. They have the largest selection of batteries at the best prices, with dockside installation available. If you count on your boat, then count on Nationwide Battery. Visit them at nationwide-battery.com. Nationwide Batteries, the sound of confidence.
Radio reaches more people than any other medium. This station can connect our listeners to your business and deliver results. In fact, Advertising Age stated that radio delivers an ROI double that of even the best results from digital or TV media. Go to iHeartMiamiAdvertising.com.
Have you been injured in an accident?
With over
over 100 years of combined legal experience.
The attorneys at Cantor and Pintaluga
Can help you get the compensation you deserve.
Injured?
Remember to visit accidentattorney.com.
Main office Boca Raton. Non-attorney spokesperson. Se habla español.
Introducing touch-free payments from PayPal, a safe way for your customers to pay. Simply download the PayPal app and display your own unique QR code for your customers to scan. Whether you're a market seller,
I'll take 2 tomatoes and a cucumber.
poodle pamperer, piano tuner, or plumber. Signing up to accept touch-free payments for your business is easy. Touch-free QR code payments. Shop safe with PayPal.
My wife Anne-Marie and I started J.R. Dunn Jewelers 50 years ago.
It was a very difficult decision leaving our jobs at IBM, but we wanted to create our own destiny.
Together, we managed to scrape up about $10,000 and opened our first store called the House of Gems.
Since the very beginning, we've had a passion for the jewelry business. It's an amazing privilege to help our clients celebrate life's most precious moments. We hope you'll come by and say hello.
We're right here in Lighthouse Point, and we'd love to be your jeweler at J.R. Dunn Jewelers. Family owned and operated since 1969.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Say hello to simple you can savor. Velo dissolvable nicotine lozenges are smoke-free and hassle-free and made to enjoy virtually anywhere. Why? Because they dissolve, but the flavor doesn't. So go ahead and enjoy on your time and on your terms. Velo lozenges are available at a convenience store near you.
All right, we got a little bit of time here if you want to say good morning to Facebook.
Okay, Joe and I, let's share some thoughts here. Ozzy Ochoa, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Ozzy.
Don't worry.
Nick Brett is still talking about you, Joe. The big S word. I have fisherman's luck when I go. Something. It's Robert Sylvia. What's up, dude? Sean Rolls. Howdy doody.
Captain Sean Rolls.
Is it Captain Sean Rolls?
He's rolling, baby.
Yeah,
is he rolling?
He's fishing a bunch of tournaments lately.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I see you commented Sean Rolls captain.
Yeah.
Give him his props, dude.
Oh, boy.
Well, we're on time. So far, we're on good time. I wish Chelsea would have got on this morning.
Listen for the keyword on the
Must be some kind of a Texas connection issue. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I was actually shocked, to be honest, when you guys had me on the Skype, that it worked as well.
Oh, it worked out phenomenal, man.
Yeah, I didn't know.
A phone call would not have even compared to what you did on Skype. Right. We saw the whole action going on, which
I got to see it still. I didn't even get to see it yet.
Well, watch your playback, dude. Yeah,
I got to
still online. Yeah.
You guys are back.
You're listening to the Nautical Ventures Weekly Fisherman Show.
Sailing on the cool and bright clear water. I'm your captain. I'm your captain. Ride, captain, ride upon your mystery ship. What's up the giant beast said? Rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat, don't tip the boat over. Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me.
You're on board the Nautical Ventures Weekly Fisherman Show with legendary fisherman Eric Brandon and extreme angler Joe Hector. Find out what's biting and how to get on the fish. Be a part of the crew. Call in to give your fishing tips. Or if you got a question, it's 866-801-0940. Listen on the radio or watch us on the Nautical Ventures Facebook page. The Nautical Ventures Weekly Fisherman Show. Powered by Mercury Marine. And brought to you by Pompano Ford and Pompano Lincoln. An easy way to car. Now, back to the Nautical Ventures Weekly Fisherman Show.
Oh, that's for you, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
That's for you, baby.
I don't know the song.
Doesn't matter. It's the rock.
It's kind of like your fishing story. It's called Flirting with Disaster.
Worming with disaster.
Yes.
God almighty. Welcome back to the show. It's been a fun program so far. The topic today is the greatest catch of all time. Well, I've got a theme coming. I'm sure he's going to play that damn thing again. There it is. Catch of all, man. And we've heard some great stories, but again, folks are really watching this thing on the stream and radio. Your worm story in the Mahi is the killer so far as grossness.
Yeah,
that was really rank.
Pretty amazing.
That was pretty damn nasty sounding.
But I saw the preview video of what Bouncer's going to be talking about, and that is a rough one coming up here next.
I can't wait.
Is the legend holding on line number 1, I'm assuming? Shall we see what he's doing right now? All right, Captain Bouncer Smith, the legend. Good morning to you, my friend.
What preview video?
Yeah. What are you talking about, Gray? Some preview video.
You sent me some, you said a video that's going to run with A.B. Raymond during Bouncer's piece.
Okay.
You have suffering from CRS again?
I'm sorry, bro. Okay, so anyway.
I'm confused. What's going on?
Captain Bouncer, I saw a video from your former amazing mate, A.B. Raymond. And he had caught a sailfish on his boat, happened to have his camera on at the same time.
Right.
And a monster mako grabs that sailfish and breaches out of the water. You see him just chomping on the bad boy, and he's got it in his mouth. It's just amazing video.
Man, those makos, huh?
They're tough, man. They love them. They're just, I told you, they're fast as hell, man. Yeah. So,
and we're showing that video right now.
Oh, thank you very much. So, Gap, we were just bringing it because you guys are all your best buds. You fished with AB still to this day, and I want to give some props on that video. But that was my reason for putting it up there. Yeah.
Awesome.
That was a wild day. First of all, fishing was phenomenal. That was our third or fourth sailfish of the day, and Avi and I was chasing it with the boat, and the customer was videotaping it, and the fish went down, so the guy paused the camera, and the fish moved over, instead of up the bow, moved back toward the stern, and Avi says, something's chasing that sailfish, and the guy reactivated his camera, and 3 seconds later, here comes his mako up with the sailfish in his mouth, and he bit the back end off the sailfish back almost in half. And we wound in what was left, and it was on the gaff, and Avi was making a shark rig, and the mako came over and grabbed the sailfish again up against the side of the boat and ripped the gaff out of it and got another chunk of sailfish. And we got it. I gaffed it again and pulled it up against the side of the boat, and Avi had the rig ready. We cut a piece of sailfish, threw it in the water, hooked the mako, fought the mako. The mako gave a couple more jumps, and we caught the mako, and we let him go. And we had some big dolphin that day. It was just absolutely phenomenal, all in 180 feet of water just south of Key Biscayne. It was really, really something. But
that is amazing.
What I really wanted to touch on today real quick,
sure.
I'm really pushing the thing because I'd like to do 2 catches of a lifetime because there's one for me and one for my customers. So my accountant was the world's premier light tackle halibut fisherman. He had all the records on the real light line and all the records on fly rods, and he had taught the woman who was the hostess on this boat that he fished on in Alaska, taught her how to fish light tackle, and she had all the women's records. And we went up there, and they had never caught a 100-pound halibut on fly, and we fished for 7 days. And in the last, when it was actually 15 minutes after time to go home, on the last day, I hooked the halibut on fly. An hour later, I landed the first 100-pound halibut ever caught on a fly rod, weighed 111 pounds.
Wow.
And it was the world record for several years. It did get beat, but
a halibut on
first time.
Man. Catch.
Hey, that qualifies, man.
Do you know how big that is?
On a fly. No,
on a fly?
Fly, dude. Yeah.
Wow.
Cap, that's...
Then that was a great catch. But my other story is probably the greatest single angling accomplishment in the history of man.
I want to do this.
Really?
I want to hear this, man.
We have to hear this.
Let's hear it right now. I
think we should take a commercial first.
One of my customers was a very accomplished angler, and we took him out sword fishing, and he analyzed everything we did, and he said, watching how these fish were and everything, I think I can catch one on fly. So the next time we went out, he brought the fly rod. He didn't try it. And then the next time, we went fly fishing. And we had a live bait out, and we had a dead bait out way out off the side of the boat. and he would cast out his fly, let it sink, work the fly, cast it out, let it sink, work the fly, and only 30 minutes into the trip, he had a good fish on the fly, which I was sure couldn't possibly have been a swordfish, but it came off after about 15 seconds. And then he worked that fly for another hour, and he hooked up again. And I ran to put the boat in gear, and he said, "Don't put it in gear." The fish turned around. And lo and behold, an hour later, he landed a swordfish fly casting. Now, here's what makes it the most amazing catch ever. He was targeting swordfish on fly. He tied his own fly, made the fly himself.
What?
Rigged his own tapered leader, which is what you use fly fishing with all the fancy knots. Worked the fly by himself and caught the swordfish without putting the boat in gear, which is called a dead boat fight, which is super, super complicated, and landed a swordfish. So he did everything himself except for drive the boat out and drive the boat home, and caught a swordfish on fly.
Catch. How does that happen?
Well, I thought swordfish were a deep water fish.
Right.
Cap, I'm trying to figure out how do you get a swordfish on fly? Was it while they were on top of the water? I mean, how'd that happen?
Well, this is back in the day of nighttime sword fishing.
Okay.
And we used the hydroglow fish light, which was a bright green light that attracted all kinds of marine life.
Right.
And then both the halibut and the swordfish were on fast-sinking fly lines. And it was obviously doable. And there's now a guy in Florida has since then, Skip Smith, and I tweaked it a little bit, and then we passed it on to, oh boy, I'm having a brain freeze, and it's not right to do it to the guy. Corey Hexter was another captain, and he tweaked it a little more, but his boss now has caught 3 swordfish on fly. Roy Croniker, who's the president of the IGFA, or chairman of the board of the IGFA. So swordfish on fly can be done, but still Dr. Marty Rostige is the only one to target a swordfish, rig everything himself, and catch it from a dead boat, because Roys are all caught with the boat speeding around, chasing the fish and everything else. So Dr. Rostige will never be beat as the most astounding catch ever made in sport fishing, in my opinion.
Captain Bouncer, quick question. What kind of fly is this?
Good question.
Yeah, can you describe it to us so we know and kind of picture in our head how it looks?
Sure.
Okay, well, Dr. Rostige's fly was what we call a pretty good knockoff of a deceiver, which has got a white fluffy head like a collar, like the collar on a clown suit where it's really puffed and sticks out. And then there's a half a dozen feathers running behind it. And because he wanted a really big fly, he combined 2 of these flies with a piece of monofilament in between them. And then we took what they call a lunker light. It's a little teeny siloon light stick, a chemical light stick. And we secured that between the 2 sections of the fly. It's like having a jointed plug. And it was, he actually tied it originally for halibut in Alaska. And so the fly is probably 6 inches long, jointed in the middle, got a little green glow in the middle, and it's got 2 hooks on it. And it's a very elaborate, fancy thing to tie up, but this guy tied all his own flies. And then you're only allowed 12 inches of bite leader. So in his case, it was 80-pound fluorocarbon, 11.5 inches long, and then that's tied directly to 20-pound line, and that has to be at least 15 inches long, and then you go on to a tapered leader, and that's what it's done with. But the amazing thing is, on top of everything else, your bite leader, which today most guys use 10 or 15 feet a leader when they're bill fishing.
Right.
But his bite leader is only allowed to be 12 inches long, so it's really crazy. It's it's really a phenomenal accomplishment.
Cap, great stories, man. Definitely a couple of greatest catches of all time right there, Joe. I mean, I get me thinking about swordfish on fly, just as inconceivable.
You don't even like picture that in your head.
I'm thinking about dropping 1,500 feet down to catch one. Never on a fly, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, Cap, thanks for that, my friend. How's things in Georgia? A little chilly this morning? You a little warming up? What's going on?
I was afraid you'd never ask. I'm in North Carolina, up in the mountains.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it's 50 degrees. I've got 72 jackets on, 4 pairs of socks, 3 pairs of pants.
I can imagine.
4 pairs of underwear, and my long johns and my knitted woolen cap.
You poor thing.
And I'm still full.
All right.
And I had to come outdoors to do the show because we're having a seniors reunion. And we got a bunch of old fishermen in the house. If I did it in the house, they'd all complain I woke them all up. So,
Cap, we got to rock, man. But hey, great story. Stay warm, and thanks for sharing. Okay, my friend. Have a great weekend.
Amazing,
Always
Captain Bouncer.
You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thanks, Cap.
Thank you.
We're running late on a break, but coming up in the program, Pat Otter's back with Shenanigans at like 10 to 8.
Nice.
Coconut catch dish is back. So, big 7 o'clock hour next, Joe.
Maria loves that section.
Oh,
she
yeah.
does.
Yeah,
She loves cooking.
Great cook, man. Yeah. And the stories will continue right here. 6:58, 940 wins Miami Sports.
940 wins.
Driven by offleaseonly.com.
The nation's used car destination.
This is Chris Collinsworth. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings.
Dodgers outfielder Cody Bellinger had a recent scan that revealed a hairline fracture in his left fibula. Former Miami Heat All-Star and 3-time NBA champion Dwayne Wade has purchased an ownership stake in the Utah Jazz. Wade plans to be active in his role with the franchise. And Starling Marte's 3-run home run in the bottom of the 8th broke a 1-1 tie and gave the Marlins the win. I'm Adam Crowley.
Download the DraftKings app and use code SPORTS to get a free shot at millions of dollars up for grabs this week with your first deposit.
Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Nothing beats the thrill of extreme kayak fishing with little standing between you and fighting a monster fish. And when it comes to kayak fishing, nothing beats a Hobie with its hands-free Mirage Drive propulsion system. Nautical Ventures is your exclusive Hobie dealer for Broward and Palm Beach. They have the widest selection of models and accessories to make your Hobie uniquely yours. They're rigged by our in-house experts who fish the tournaments. They know what it takes to win. Go to nauticalventures.com to learn more. Nautical Ventures, the go-to people for Hobie.
You love your boat. You love the water. But you'll love them both even more with a new Mercury V8 4-stroke outboard on the transom. The 4-stroke's 4.6-liter V8 powerhead delivers exhilarating acceleration and top speed with uncompromising durability and reliability. While its advanced midsection and undercowl noise management create the smoothest, quietest ride on the water. The 250 and 300 horsepower 4-strokes are famous for superior hull shot and fuel efficiency. See your Mercury dealer today for the exciting 250 and 300 horsepower 4-stroke outboards.
South Florida fishermen know that this is blue water country, where big fish, big water, and big expectations sit right offshore. So we build blue water boats for the blue water fishermen, where yacht-grade construction meets 21st century technology. And compromise? Well, we leave that for the other guys. You can customize your own blue water boat by visiting BlueWaterSportFishingBoats.com and discover why boating is better on a blue water.
Need a place to store your boat? How about a wet slip with ocean access? One with hurricane protection and a full-service yard? Nautical Ventures Marine Center in the heart of Fort Lauderdale has dockage starting at just $12 per foot per month, the lowest rate in Broward County. Our full-service yard performs all boat works from bottom paint to engine repower to total refits. Coming soon, a new state-of-the-art 200-unit dry stack. Go to nauticalventures.com/marina for more information. Nautical Ventures, the go-to people for fun on the water.
Nissan believes you deserve a car that thrills you. So we have to ask, does your car thrill you? When you hit the pedal, do you get something back? A chill in your spine? Goosebumps on your goosebumps? When you take off, do your fingers tighten around the steering wheel? Does your heart beat in your stomach and your breath catch in your chest? Does driving make you feel alive? Because it should. And if your car doesn't thrill you, ours will. This is the new Nissan.
Make
Making popcorn for movie night?
Whoa, who are you?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless. What if every time you tried a new streaming service, you had to buy a new TV?
That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, some wireless companies do that when you switch. Make you buy a new phone.
All right, guys, we got a little bit here of time.
And your number and your network. And gives you unlimited talk and text.
Joe and Eric, we got a little bit of time. You want to say hello to anybody on FB or anywhere else this morning?
Hey, guys, let's see. What do we got?
Clara Taylor, howdy. Mrs. Hector, your lovely lady, saying hello.
Maria's tuned in. Bart Hetfield. What's up, Bart?
You're catching all the fish because you're tuned into the Nautical Ventures Weekly Fisherman Show, powered by Mercury Marine.
Catch all the fish, drink all the beer, anchor down, stay here.
With your hosts, two legendary fishermen, Eric Brandon and Joe Hector.
Oh, I certainly admire people who do things.
Brought to you by Pompano Ford and Pompano Lincoln, an easy way to car.
You're just the guy I want to see.
Glad you're here. Drop the guys a line at 866-801-0940.
One ringy dingy.
And now, while you drink all the fish and catch all the beer,
come on, pull yourself together.
It's back to Eric Brandon and Joe Hector on the Nautical Ventures Weekly Fisherman Show.
Oh, yeah.
Great song. Caught. A mahi.
Fish.
With worm. Barf.
Hey!
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the big show.
Crazy.
We got Joe Hector, my man over here. Stephen J. Gray flying at that bad boy behind the wall there. Ricardo back at the studio. A couple of our captains have slept in this morning.
A
little difficulty reaching a few of them. I understand some may have let the alarm clock go bye-bye.
Sure.
What kind of crap is that?
Well, I know we're up and doing this every weekend. I've done 15 years. I've missed a show, so there's no excuses, guys, I might add.
Yes.
But the theme of the show is the greatest catch of all time.
Oh, God.
Here we go. The audience on the stream has been participating and talking about their catches. Joe,
yeah.
Again, I've heard Bouncers, great stuff with the swordfish on fly.
That was amazing.
Jimbo Thomas had a great story this morning about the blue marlin.
Right.
Remember, being attacked by a mako.
That was amazing.
Mako seemed to be making the show this morning for some reason.
Lots of Mako stories, stories, which is interesting.
But I don't think the topper could ever be you with that mahi story.
Jimbo topped it.
Yeah, you're in a kayak with no gaff.
Yeah, but mahi to marlin to mako.
You're that close to the water, man, okay? And you got this mahi is whipping your ass because you got him in the boat.
Literally.
He's just knocking the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Bruising you up, just trying to kill you.
Yes.
You pound him in the head 2 or 3 times to sedate him a little bit.
Oh, yeah, he was done after that.
Then you take your knife and you open up his belly. That's awfully fun for a fish.
Sounds pretty morbid if you talk about it and think about it.
Well, he was actually knocked out cold. He didn't feel a thing. Okay.
Right.
Okay. And then all of a sudden, worms just come out of his body.
Yeah.
Just everywhere.
Like whitish clear, little black heads.
God, that just sounds so freaking disgusting,
It was nasty, man.
You know?
And I'm one for I can handle a lot, except for blood. I'm a passer-outer when it comes to blood. I pass out instantly. Yeah. If I smell the alcohol when I'm gonna
get a shot
or whatever, I'm out like that.
Damn.
But when I can handle a lot of other stuff, and that was rough, man. To see these things come out, like the way they came out.
Did you ever get a photo of that stuff?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I have a photo of the worm.
Shoot me after the show.
I weighed the fish at Tom Green's.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Why are we waiting? Why don't we just get the picture and we'll show it after the next break?
I got to go into my SIM card for that, man. That's old. That was back in like 2007, 8.
I'm dying to see it.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
So we're supposed to have George Clark Jr. on at this segment here from the Keys. He may have an issue, maybe offshore fishing, whatever else the case may be.
Okay.
So we'll let that slide and continue on with the program. We've got a brand new sponsor to the program, Joe. I'm so excited. Pompano Ford and Pompano Lincoln are now on the show as big sponsors of the show.
Very cool.
If you guys want to go out there and definitely pick out the right vehicle to pull your boat.
Yeah.
I mean,
kayaks.
You know how Fords are.
Oh, yeah. I've had Fords my whole life.
I mean, how many guys are driving F-150s these days?
Everybody.
The 250s, okay?
Everybody.
The dualies, whatever else. They can pull any everything you've got behind your truck. And they've got a great selection, great customer service again. Everybody's doing this virtual thing.
Sure.
You can shop virtually at Pompano Ford.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to get fancy and really be a fancy boat guy, get a Lincoln, bro. That Lincoln Navigator.
I'm a truck guy. I
know you are. I'm just saying, but you want to go fancy schmancy.
Yeah.
It's plush. It's comfortable. It's sleek.
It's just, you can sleep in the damn thing if you wanted to. It's nice.
You want to talk about comfortable? What about the F-150? The limited, and you want to talk about comfortable? I went into one of those.
Okay.
When I was picking out a truck a while back, because I know Pompano Ford well. I got one of my trucks from them.
Sure.
And it had the massage on the neck.
Oh, come on,
and
man.
the heated steering wheel.
What?
And so the limited F-150, amazing.
I'd be
truck.
afraid of being that comfortable, Joe. I'd probably fall asleep at the wheel.
Oh my gosh! I mean, it was
just like you just tucked me in bed, man. You know what I mean?
I went in there and I'm just like, is this real? Like,
man,
wow.
Pickup trucks are not like back in the day. They're chewing tobacco. Chewing tobacco spit.
Oh yeah, it's like totally different now.
They are so luxurious, man.
Yeah.
They ride so amazing.
Right.
They've got features up to yin yang.
Yeah.
Roger Moore, of course, drives our CEO of Nautical Ventures. By the way, drives a Ford.
Okay.
And we first got his new Ford pickup. He couldn't figure out why he's feeling air blowing up between his crack.
Okay.
It's got the air-conditioned seats. And he's wondering why he's got air blowing up his rear end. Well, he just
wrecked him.
He found the dial and shut that thing off. But again, creature
shut it off.
He shut the fan off.
Okay.
But creature comforts galore, man. They are so unlike the trucks back in the day.
Built for comfort. I will say that.
And they're hard to get. I mean, they sell out of these babies at Pompano Ford.
Fast.
Pompano Lincoln. So jump on when you can. Some great deals going on right now. Financing right on the spot. And luxury pulling your boat experience, my friend.
Or hauling your kayaks. They're great.
Oh, there you go. Pulling all those yaks behind your vehicle, man. Yeah, for sure. So check them out, folks. You'll be happy. Ride like a Ford. We've got a couple things coming up in the program we have not done yet, which will be in a few minutes, I do believe. We've got a Starbright bucket to give away, which is loaded with goodies, unless Gray's already helped herself to half the stuff. Which
come on, move along.
No,
it looks a little light in there.
Looks a little light, right? Yeah. Oh, look at this. I mean, look at the deck cleaner. It's like floating, bro. It's like floating. He's cleaned it out, man.
Hey, did you know, guys, Starbright, besides making awesome boating products, because I actually got their new logo, which is in between you guys right now.
Yeah.
They make all kinds of cleaning products, like, your vehicle kind of smells, Eric. They have stuff you can put in your vehicle to make it smell better. They've got RV cleaner. They've got motorcycle and car cleaner. I mean, the line of Starbright products is incredible.
It really is, yeah, for sure. Well, we can do that now if you wanted to.
Oh, you want to call out a number here?
We're kind of juggling the show because of a few guys not being on the program. So.
What about Steven's story? I want to hear his story first. He's up, right?
Do we have time? I think we do.
He said it's short.
Oh, man.
Come on, Steven.
Okay.
Play your greatest theme and do your thing.
Well, no, my fishing story is kind of short. I was a young, thin teenager, and on my aluminum boat, here we go, another aluminum boat story, and I still live with an aluminum boat now with an outboard.
Love those.
I'm cruising on Miami Beach, and then one of the canals, flying down a canal, and just having an awesome, beautiful day, kind of like today. And, everything's going good. And all of a sudden, as I'm cruising down the canal, just big mullet jumps out of the water and then, bam, hits me in the head really hard. I almost crash and flip the boat over and slam into the seawall. And the boat, the damn fish is flipping and flopping around in the boat. And I was so pissed, I said, you know what, let that fish die, okay? So the fish caught me. And I'm like, well, what is this, man? What, Eric?
I'm smelling some BS here, but go ahead. Continue on, man. Okay,
Steven,
no, that was for real, man. Why would I BS about that?
I liked your story.
It was a
good story,
and that could be why I am today, because I got hit pretty hard in the head by that mullet, and the rest is history.
Right.
We're going from Makos to Mahi
to mullet
to everything, and he's worried about a damn itty bitty mullet. Really?
The thing look, when you're going 15, 20 miles an hour and it hits you in the head, it hurts, man.
You sure you were going 15 or 20, not 5?
This whole story stinks,
No,
man.
I had like a 15 horsepower on my little aluminum square boat back in the day.
Well,
All right.
I ain't buying it, dude.
Wasn't that in a movie?
So you're saying I'm saying a bunch of...
Yeah, I am.
It's true. Why don't I lie?
We believe you,
We love you,
Steven.
man. We believe you, Steve, okay? Let's believe this, man. We've got a bucket to give away right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I pick a number?
It's always your choice.
Yes.
Dude, okay?
Let's go while we're young.
It takes you like a half hour to get one out, so go ahead. We have plenty
I love
of time
it.
to kill, man. Go for it, dude.
All right. So it can't be
Come on,
1.
man!
It can't be 7 because
if you won previously, you cannot win today.
Very true. So I'm feeling
soon,
something
man.
come over me right
I'm
now.
feeling a board coming to someone's head soon.
So I think we go with 3.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, 3. Ricardo's gonna love you for that one, man. 3. 866-801-0940. Well, that took forever to get number 3 out. 866-801-0940. Be number 3. Win right now at 940 wins Miami Sports.
Making popcorn for movie night?
Whoa, who are you?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless. What if every time you tried a new streaming service, you had to buy a new TV?
That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, some wireless companies do that when you switch. Make you buy a new phone.
Right.
But TracFone Wireless lets you keep your phone and your number and your network and gives you unlimited talk and text starting at $20 a month.
Seriously, who are you?
This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. Oh, you're burning it.
Oh, no.
See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
You love your boat. You love the water. But you'll love them both even more with a new Mercury V8 4-stroke outboard on the transom. The 4-stroke's 4.6-liter V8 powerhead delivers exhilarating acceleration and top speed with uncompromising durability and reliability. While its advanced midsection and undercowl noise management create the smoothest, quietest ride on the water. The 250 and 300 horsepower 4-strokes are famous for superior hole shot and fuel efficiency. See your Mercury dealer today for the exciting 250 and 300 horsepower 4-stroke outboards.
I'm George Poveromo, and I've made washing and detailing my boat an art. I'll avoid dish soap, which quickly strips away protective wax coating and even begins eating into the gel coat. For me, it's Starbright Boat Washes exclusively. They're specifically formulated to keep boat surfaces impeccably clean and protected without stripping wax finishes. Available in pine, citrus, and blueberry scents. Go to Starbright.com to find a retailer near you. Starbright. Clean and protect.
If you're looking to breathe new life into your boat, new motors will open up a whole new world. Nautical Ventures has several repowering options to fit your needs and budget. They carry the top brands including Mercury, Yamaha, Tohatsu, and a wide range of horsepower to give you all the speed you could need. Plus, they offer repower finance programs with affordable, low monthly payments. Contact Nautical Ventures today and talk to their pros about repower options. Call 954-926-5250 or go to nauticalventures.com. Nautical Ventures, the go-to people for power.
Need a place to store your boat? How about a wet slip with ocean access? One with hurricane protection and a full-service yard? Nautical Ventures Marine Center in the heart of Fort Lauderdale has dockage starting at just $12 per foot per month, the lowest rate in Broward County. Our full-service yard performs all boat works from bottom paint to engine repower to total refits. Coming soon, a new state-of-the-art 200-unit dry stack. Go to nauticalventures.com/marina for more information. Nautical Ventures, the go-to people for fun on the water.
The iHeart app is packed with fun for our Spring Fling Week. Escape with a spring podcast binge. Podcasts made for and even by kids that'll entertain the whole family. Like the 10 News, Brains On, and the #1 podcast for kids and their grown-ups, Wow in the World. iHeart can also be the soundtrack for your road trip with live radio and playlists that might start a sing-along. Spring 2021 feels good, and we can make it sound even better. iHeartRadio. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one app.
As a dentist, I know what my patients are saying during times when they really can't speak.
Mm-hmm.
She says her gums are irritated.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you can do? Absolutely. You can try New Crest Advanced Gum Restore.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, New Crest Advanced Gum Restore. It detoxifies below the gum line to restore your gums back to health in just 7 days. Exactly. Healthy gums, healthy mouth.
New Crest Advanced Gum Restore. Healthy, beautiful smiles for life.
I'm going to hit a home run for you this afternoon.
Baseball is back.
Catch Catch $1,000 in your glove at 940wins.com.
Listen for the keyword on the hour weekdays from 7 a.m. through 9 p.m.
All right, play ball.
Catch $1,000 in your glove.
Grand in your glove.
At 940wins.com.
That's 940wins.com.
$1,000 in your glove is powered by Publix.
Where saving time doesn't have to be a compromise.
That's why Publix offers convenient ways to help you get what you need when you need it.
Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
License number CCC 1332557.
You have
All right. A little bit of time here. If you want to say hello to everybody, guys.
Very funny. Let's see here. Bart Hetfield says today's recipe: a Bimini turducken, mako stuffed with Marlin stuffed with mahi. I don't think Pat Utter was going to cook a dish like that, dude. Okay.
Get Crown on it today. Call 855-CROWN55 or online at crownroofing.com.
Nick Brent Triolo says the new Ford Ranger F×4.
You're catching all the fish because you're tuned into the Nautical Ventures Weekly Fisherman Show, powered by Mercury Marine.
Catch all the fish, drink all the beer, anchor down, we're staying here.
With your hosts, two legendary fishermen, Eric Brandon and Joe Hector.
Oh, I certainly admire people who do things.
Brought to you by Pompano Ford and Pompano Lincoln, an easy way to car.
You're just the guy I want to see.
Glad you're here. Drop the guys a line at 866-801-0940.
One ringy dingy.
And now, while you drink all the fish and catch all the beer,
Come on, pull yourself together.
it's back to Eric Brandon and Joe Hector on the Nautical Ventures Weekly Fisherman Show.
There you go, Joe.
There we go. Here we go.
Boom, 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 boom.
Wow. See?
I do a little wow.
Slowly.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
And Joe.
On the show.
We're on the show.
Greatest catch of all.
Welcome back to the show, folks. It's been a blast, as always, man. My good man, Joe, the busy man, Hector, had a phenomenal bass tournament last week in the first ever exotic bass roundup, which was a smash hit.
Yep.
You've got a big offshore to-do coming up in next month, I believe.
Yeah, we got the Summer Slam coming up, June 19th, guys. So
that's big.
That's our really big one. The exotic roundup, I was shocked because we were getting ready for the weigh-in.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I see this white van with a big ESPN logo pull up.
Oh, wow.
And
how cool.
I ended up doing an interview with ESPN talking
I
about
saw that piece, yeah.
talking about the tournament.
Great coverage.
And all the tournaments in my past, like what brought us to here, and it was really cool. We made the national news. You can go to Wahoo. We can go to Yahoo Sports, and you can check that out as well too. And I've been sharing all that stuff too.
Congrats to you, man, and all the crew that put that thing together.
Hey, it's not me. It's our team. Our team is everything. Marco, he's our event coordinator. He really helps out when it comes to literally building this event. My vision, he builds it. And it's he really helps out.
Proud of you, man. Good stuff, Joe.
Thank you.
We got a guy here, Frank George, was your lucky number 3.
Nice.
That was a fast winner. Let's see if he's on the phone here. Frank George, my friend. Good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. Great job. Great show.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
So we always like to ask our guys, don't we, Joe?
Yeah.
Frank, are you a boat owner, by any chance?
You better believe it. I've been boating for, oh my gosh, can't even count the years. Probably 30 years.
Nice.
Outstanding. What kind of boat you got?
I have actually a 20-foot center console Sentry that sits in the water, really for offshore and inshore angling. I have a inflatable that's two-man inflatable with a motor and a trolling motor that I use, on small lakes and canals and things like that. And I just picked up a weenie kayak, and I say weenie because it doesn't have pole holders. It's not extreme, but it's a lot of fun. It's inflatable. Nice. I have a trailer for it. I throw it in the canals, and I go and do all the parks and recreation centers with the wife since COVID came in. So I actually have a little collection of boats.
Nice. I saw Sentries back in the day. They're really a well-built boat, so nice job there. Just to keep them all clean, your wife will be happy when you give that bucket to her because it's loaded with tons of cleaning stuff there, okay? So give it to her as a nice little gift of some sort, brother, okay?
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Frank.
I was at Lake Ida last week.
Oh, great.
Pretty much for the weigh-in.
Oh, awesome.
Well,
Thank you, Frank.
Cool, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing up and checking it out. Did you have a good time?
Oh, it was great. I wish I could have stayed longer. I actually live about 2 miles away from Lake Ida, and I fish there quite a lot. So I was hoping you would share some of the locations where the guys actually got their great success. I saw the weigh-in, so that was cool. But yeah, I know how fishermen don't like to share spots, but I'm on that lake all the time.
You're a smart guy,
and it would just be nice to know where they had the little spots of success. Was it down on the canals? Was it around the island?
Well, we have more time.
Lake Ida West, that kind of thing.
Well,
yeah, definitely, Frank. If you listen to the show, I'm going to actually go into depth a little more about the tournament.
Okay.
And for you, I will unveil a spot that I know for clown knife fish.
Right,
sharing is caring.
It is, brother. All right, Frank. Thanks, man. I'll call you after the show and tell you to pick up your bucket. But thanks for being on the program, man.
Thanks, Frank.
And listening. Thanks so much, man. We appreciate it. So,
thank you.
Speaking of freshwater, we got our friend Alan Zaremba on the program.
He hung up after waiting.
And he's got the story about a motor fail off the back of his Inu. And this is kind of like in his honor this morning.
Alan went out to play in the Everglades one day in a boat that he called a Inu.
Oh, boy.
He was having a good time catching fish on his lines, but he hadn't been ready for what was coming through.
Oh, boy.
With tackle and gear and a 6-pack of beer, he was having an afternoon to remember.
Oh, boy.
At 2 p.m., his outboard fell in, and the wreck of the Allen Zaremba.
Oh, that's courtesy of the ingenious Stephen J. Gray, man. Yeah.
He's got a good voice.
He does, doesn't he?
Do you think Alan is going to talk to us now? I don't think so.
It says Ricardo says to me, he hung up.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Good job there, Gray.
I told you.
Oh, boy. He hung up. Okay, well, Alan, it's all just fun, my friend. This show is just levity. We pick on ourselves more than we pick on anybody else. You and I, Joe, will pick on ourselves before we pick on anybody else. You know what I mean?
Hey.
I mean, I've fallen off boats. I've fallen off roofs.
You've fallen off boats on land.
On land. I've gaffed myself in the knee. I've done a lot of crazy, stupid things to myself, so trust me, I am an idiot.
Yeah.
Number one.
Right.
Okay. So it's all in fun, Alan. We'd love you to death, my friend, on the show. And we'll hopefully try to get him back if he doesn't ban us forever.
Mad at you.
Yeah,
I had a feeling that could happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's all in fun, man. Speaking of fun, coming up in the program later on, we have Pat Utter back from Shenanigans with a real fun fish dish.
Nice.
Which I can't wait to see and taste and hear. And he's back on the show. And again, Frank was a great winner for the Starbright Bucket. The guy's a big dedicated listener. He's a big fan of your fishing thing. So
yeah, that's great.
It's all been tied in great this morning. Yeah. So we're having fun on the program.
It's good to hear. That we had people that didn't fish the tournament that came just to check out the weigh-in and see what it's about. So.
I agree. And again, our theme this morning has been catch. I feel like I'm on the Oscars, man. All these elements are coming in here. You know, the Oscar show and how well produced that thing is.
Should be wearing tuxes, right?
Tuxes or something. He's all these great things.
No, not necessarily.
Wreck of the Allen Zaremba, which is classic. Okay, so we'll take a little break and back with more, my friends. It's been a fun show. You guys make the show because we do it for you, not for us.
Yes.
Do it for you guys.
Thank you.
On the Facebook stream and 940 Wins, Miami Sports.
From the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer Weather Center.
Beautiful beach weather for our Saturday, mostly sunny skies, and it's going to get hot, high of 91. Tonight we're going to have a low of 72, mostly cloudy skies tomorrow with a high of 92.
This report is sponsored by America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses.
Don't overpay for glasses. Get 2 pairs and a free exam for just $69.95. The exam alone is worth $50. That's not just a better deal. It's America's Best. Book your exam online today.
In certain states, eye exams provided by independent optometrists or ophthalmologists. See store for details.
We save big money with our Progressive Home and Auto Bundle and use the cash to take a family vacation.
To Hawaii.
Who's up for a luau?
Yeah!
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big money with Progressive, but not enough to go to Hawaii. They'll probably use it for things like the mortgage and groceries, or even a travel magazine, so at least they can see pictures of Hawaii.
Aloha!
Yes, say hello to those beautiful Hawaiian beaches in that magazine. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
You have two missions in life. Go fast and catch fish. The 3.0-liter 150-horsepower Mercury Pro XS will take care of going fast so you can take care of catching fish. On freshwater or salt, 150 Pro XS is tuned to power mid-size boats to the limit. Whole shot and top speed are incredible thanks to the lowest weight, highest displacement in the category and transient spark technology that optimizes spark timing. Talk with your Mercury dealer today about the Mercury 150 horsepower Pro XS.
Remember the glory days of gasoline? It's just not made the same anymore.
Kick your gas into gear with StarTron. Pump up the performance in all of your engines. Cure the problems of ethanol with the power of enzymes. And maximize your mileage every time you drive. Kickstart your engines with StarTron.
South Florida fishermen know that this is blue water country, where big fish, big water, and big expectations sit right offshore. So we build blue water boats for the blue water fishermen, where yacht-grade construction meets 21st century technology. And compromise? Well, we leave that for the other guys. You can customize your own blue water boat by visiting BlueWaterSportFishingBoats.com and discover why boating is better on a blue water.
Hey, it's Joe Buck and Oliver Hudson, and we have a podcast called Daddy Issues, a production of iHeartRadio and Cavalry Audio. On the show, we talk about being dads, parenting, and everything that's going on in our lives as working fathers.
iHeartRadio is #1 for podcasts, but don't take our word for it. Go find Daddy Issues with Joe Buck and Oliver Hudson on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to subscribe and tune in every Thursday for new episodes.
My wife, Anne-Marie, and I started J.R. Dunn Jewelers 50
Got a little bit of time. You want to say hello to anybody, Joe and Eric?
But we wanted to create our own destiny.
Together, we managed to...
Say what, dude?
You got a little bit of time if you want to say hello to anybody?
Let's see here. Frank George, thanks for the Starbright gifts. We'll enjoy. Best catch with Father's Day. Snuck out of bed, left wife sleeping, started up the... Also, nice long story here. Kicked up the boat, 25 feet out of the inlet to 30 feet of water. A Cuda ate it. So he's got his own story. Greatest catch. Cool, man. Like that.
Baseball is back. Catch $1 grand in your glove at 940wins.com. Listen for the keyword on the hour weekdays from 7 a.m. through 9 p.m. All right, play ball. Catch $1 grand in your glove. Grand in your glove at 940wins.com. That's 940wins.com. $1 grand in your glove is powered by Publix, where saving time doesn't have to be a compromise. That's why Publix offers convenient ways to help you get what you need.
Nick Brent Triolo says, WTF, what did I just listen to? That's what he means by that, boy. Okay.
Keep it on the road. And if it's on the road, we have parts for it. And if you need a part, you can get it fast, like same-day pickup or next-day delivery fast.
What's your day like today? Got Mia stuff going on with the fam today?
Yeah. Maria's back at work because she took the weekend off too.
Okay.
And I'm going to watch the baby today. And,
maybe fish a little bit today?
Yeah, I think we'll do some fun stuff. I'll take her to the park and maybe some peacock fishing or something.
There you go. Yeah, she's becoming quite the fan of fishing, man.
She loves it.
Yeah.
Loves it. And she loves holding the fish.
Oh, my God.
That's her favorite part.
Most of the kids are afraid of them.
I know.
Yeah.
She loves it, man.
I think she got this from Daddy, I do believe.
Yeah, definitely. So,
awesome.
I got a great picture of her. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick for you. She's holding the fish out, and it's just hilarious.
The Marlins, then Gators play here.
She's what, a year and a half
wins.
I couldn't sleep at all last night.
I didn't sleep well last night.
Cause lately I've been losing sleep. Don't you go to sleep? I can't sleep at night.
It's hard to sleep on Friday night thinking about fishing on Saturday. It's the Nautical Ventures Weekly Fisherman Show. Powered by Mercury Marine and brought to you by Pompano Ford and Pompano Lincoln. An easy way to car. To talk fishing, call Eric Brandon and Joe Hector at 866-801-0940. Listen on the radio or watch us on the Nautical Ventures Facebook page. The Nautical Ventures Weekly Fisherman Show.
Oh.
Stones, baby, on the radio show. Thank you very much. Been a fun program. The greatest catches of all time. Everybody's had their stories this morning, which is great. Nobody's topping your... I'm watching the Facebook stream. Maybe keep talking about your worms, Joe. They're all talking about the worms that came out of that dolphin's belly. I got that in my mind, dude. I can't get it out of my brain. God, it's disgusting.
I don't think anyone can, really.
No, man. It ruined the breakfast.
Imagine being there?
No, I don't want to be there, watch it. Send me the photo later, though, just for the hell of it, okay?
Yeah.
I want to see that. Yeah. Welcome back to the show. Let's check out some weather, see what's happening. It's a beautiful day here at the Gray Palatial Palace, right? And let's see if Jen's on the phone here. Jennifer Gray Warren, my friend, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Hi, Jen.
Hey, Jen, how you doing?
I'm good. I was getting pretty jealous when I was doing the forecast for you guys. It looks pretty awesome.
It's actually a nice day. Not too much wind kicking up. Should be good for the guys offshore. I hope I get that right.
It's nice.
But, we're having a theme on the show, Jen. I want to ask you towards the end here. It's called The Greatest Catch of All Time. You're an accomplished angler, so before you leave us this morning, we want to hear your story, okay?
Okay.
All right, so let's knock out the weather, talk about that, and see what's happening this weekend.
All right. You have maybe a little bit of fog this morning for the next hour or two. Otherwise, mostly sunny, high near 86.
Okay.
Southwest winds 5 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet. Intercoastal waters a light chop. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high near 85. Southwest winds 5 to 15 knots, seas around 2 feet. Intercoastal waters a light chop. In the Keys, sunshine with a high near 84. Southwest to west winds decreasing to 5 to 10 in the afternoon. Seas 2 to 3 feet, subsiding to 1 to 2 in the afternoon. Nearshore waters choppy, becoming smooth to a light chop.
Okay.
Sunday, mostly sunny, high near 86. Southwest to west winds, about 5 to 10 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet, subsiding to 1 to 2 in the afternoon. Nearshore waters choppy, becoming smooth. And on Florida Bay today, southwest winds 15 to 20 knots, decreasing 10 to 15 during the afternoon. And bay waters choppy, becoming a light chop. And then tomorrow, southwest winds near 10 knots, becoming southwest to west in the afternoon. Bay waters a light chop. Gorgeous.
Not bad. I mean, think about kayakers going offshore, Joe. They can actually have a nice day and not get beat up.
It has been so nice.
Right?
Oh, yeah. It's been nice, I think, for the past,
outstanding
week, yeah.
It's funny about weather, Jen. Last weekend during Joe's tournament on Lake Ida, it was blowing like 50 miles an hour out there. I mean, these guys were fighting the wind, bro.
Thank God it didn't have a saltwater tournament, right?
I'm not even a chance, man. But watching Lake Ida with caps was kind of crazy.
I know.
You know, and I felt bad for the kayakers.
I don't know how people fish
fight that stuff, man. Well, Jen, you've been fishing for a long, long time. Of course, you were down here doing TV back in the day very well in South Florida. You fished a lot with Pat Ford and other accomplished folks. Pat Ford, by the way, is a great photographer. He's amazing. Many catfish. Awesome. It's hard, Jen, to nail down one greatest catch of all time. Do you have one you thought about that might be the topper of all?
Yeah, definitely. It was a tarpon I caught actually along the Space Coast with Captain Jim Ross, and I caught it right off of Cocoa Beach. It's like a 200-pound tarpon. It was in I guess 20 feet of water. Like, it was a little deeper than what you would catch them backcountry, you know, like Florida Bay and stuff. Okay. We pulled on that thing for about 3 hours, and we finally got it to the boat, and he was enormous, a monster. And Mike Zimmer, he's also a video photographer I worked with in Miami for many years. He filmed the whole thing, and it was crazy. I remember I couldn't even pick up a glass of water that night because my arms felt like Jello.
That qualifies.
That's great.
So now, Jen, you were actually fighting that fish yourself. You were holding a rod. You were fighting the tarpon, right?
Yeah.
You? Okay.
Yeah.
Spinner, fly caster. Sure. What were you using on that deal?
Yeah.
Just a spinning rod. We were using live bait.
Okay.
But the boats are so light. It was just dragging us around. The thing was just a bus, so it was wild.
And
you would get him right up there, and then he would go away again, and pull all your drag out. It was crazy.
You said your little arms, or your strong arms rather, were kind of too tired to hold up a glass of water. Was that bad?
Yeah, I mean, it was like you were just jello at the end of it. You know, you couldn't even. You're just weak as can be. So it was wild.
I've caught tarpon, Jen and Joe, but never that size.
That's
ever.
a big.
I mean, I've caught a 50-pounder, 40-pounder, whatever else, which is wimpy in comparison to a 200-pound tarpon.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
How long was that fight?
It was almost 3 hours.
Oof.
Yeah, that's a long time to fight a fish, my
Yeah, it
friend.
was crazy.
Wow, Jen.
Yeah.
Well, that definitely qualifies as one of the greatest catches of all time in your lifetime. I think it's a damn good story.
Awesome.
You're a great angler, a great weathercaster. We love you as a friend on the program. Coop and Caden, they're getting bigger day by day, and you said they're out there casting their rods and learning how to be a fishing person like you.
Yes, I can't wait. Little fishing buddies. Little lifetime fishing buddies.
That is
The
so
best.
great, man. Raising your kids by fishing like Joe's got his little baby.
Yeah,
You know,
she loves it.
She loves the fish, and
Yeah.
she loves the whole fish, which is great, which most kids don't.
Yeah,
Okay?
she loves. For some reason, she just wants to grab it right away, and then she doesn't want to release it though.
Yeah.
she just wants to hold it and play with it.
Well, kids are precious, man.
Right.
Enjoy them while they're young, because you know what? I've got two guys that are 38 and 36. They grow up very fast, okay? So enjoy them while you can. Jen, we love you. Thanks so much for having a great report. We love in the show, and have a fine weekend with the family, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. We'll do. You guys too.
All right, thanks so much. Got a good friend, Captain Wayne Kahn, on the Reward Fishing Fleet, back on the show.
Cool.
And I know Wayne's got some stories he could tell forever, because he's caught everything but COVID. You know what I mean? So he's doing very well. Wayne Kahn, man. Good morning to you, brother. How are you?
Good morning.
Yeah, and I think I may have had that. I coughed one time. I'm sure that was it, but I was, one of those guys. I'm happy, though. If that's what it was, I'm good. So.
Yeah, good, Wayne. Hey, I'm so glad you got on the program with us this morning. We're having fun talking about the greatest catch of all time. But before we bring on your story, how's fishing been for you?
Actually, it's picked up a lot, especially the afternoons. We've been the other day. Well, we've been busy. Thank God. People are going fishing. Folks are allowed to travel. Folks are allowed to breathe. It's a beautiful thing. I meet people from all over the country that can finally get down here, and I'm sure everybody in the industry is kind of experiencing the same thing. Good fishing comes and goes, or actually, it's always good fishing, but good catching comes and goes. But this past week has definitely been an afternoon bite. We're having a nice surge of bonitas every trip in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
We've had sailfish, we've had kingfish, we've had a few mahis, we've had some mutton snappers. Couple days of vermilion snappers moved in really heavy. We caught folks all they needed. Interspersed with that, we've had trips where nothing seems to bite, and that's fishing, and that's just the way it goes, you know. But we do provide that 4 or 5 hour shot at getting out in the ocean, and thank gosh the weather's been beautiful. So, people are getting that experience. The other day I had a bachelor party, and I had 3 sailfish on at the same time, and we were able to convert 2 of them. The only reason we lost 1 was the guy screwed the drag down.
Oof.
But that's exciting. And like I said, they've been coming through pretty good as well. So we got great fishing. Night fishing is about ready to bust loose. Our night fishing for yellowtails, especially this time of year, can be really good, and it goes right into mangrove snapper season. So, and this year we're going to be allowed to fish at night. We lost all last summer due to the curfew, or we weren't allowed to operate. So those fish had a whole year off, and look out. That's all I got to say.
I didn't even think about that with the curfew.
Right, yeah. What about it?
Yeah, all night fishing off Miami. And, there was talk about trying to close the reefs down off Miami. And the problem, it's like the folks that want to do it, look, they're all it's all great intentions to try to make something recover. And I tried to get on this silly Zoom thing, and it didn't work, and I couldn't talk, and it was very frustrating. But, I've been doing this. I've been a captain pushing 50 years. And the only thing I have to say is it's only gone one way, and it's never gone the other way. And that is what it is. And I think every single captain, every single fisherman can say exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
So there's some basic things they need to address beyond closing a reef. That's like putting a Band-Aid on something that's going to bleed forever.
Yeah, true.
But, those underlying causes of filthy water and sewer outfalls and things like that, that maybe could be directly affected. Instead, folks want to just shut down the reef. You go up and down the reef, you don't see 200 boats out there anchored up in 12 to 30 feet of water. You just don't, beating it up. So folks are fishing when they fish, fishing where they fish, and a lot more people are fishing now, and they're not abusing the reef. So that's my opinion on that. And I know we don't abuse anything. We let go everything that isn't right. So, which, by the way, May 1st, we do have grouper season coming up. and that's a good thing. We caught when it closed last year. We probably caught 24 nice black and gag groupers in the next month and a half, of course. And so hopefully they're fatter and happier. And and that's about it on Reward Fleet. We're also doing some tuna trips in the afternoon. We go at 2 o'clock, go to 2 to 8 because the fish are biting late. I mean, let's face it, all charter boats are coming in at 4:30. All party boats are coming in at 5:30. The fish are biting till dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's make a little minor change here. If you guys went out there with a live well full of pilchards at 4 o'clock, you'll catch more fish between 4 and dark than you will between 7 and 4. Okay.
Wayne, sounds good. But listen, before you go, you got 2 minutes to do this for us, okay? The theme of the show is your greatest catch of all time. You've caught everything I know on the planet, Wayne, but you have that one fish that's your greatest catch of all time you can think of this morning?
Well, I got a few. My boat, the Reward 1, about 15 years ago when the sword fishing thing came back around, Captain Woody and Marty and Big Mark, and I'm trying to think who else was on the boat, but we used to do boys trips out, and we did a sword. I actually didn't go for whatever reason. They did an all-nighter swordfish, and they hooked this big swordfish, and they fought it for 4 hours on a rod and reel, and it took them 2 hours to get it in the boat, and it was just under 12 feet long. Now, in the day of measurements, I took all the measurements on it, and when I talked to Woody, he says, "Oh yeah, Wade." Because, we have our licenses to sell fish and stuff like that. So the fish house paid him for like a 340-pound fish. When I did the math on it, like 2 years later, the fish was like over 100 pounds bigger than that. And the pictures I got would probably reflect that. So for a party fishing boat, I'm gonna lay claim to my crew catching the biggest swordfish off South Florida. Anyway.
You can have it. That's your greatest catch, baby. Yeah. That qualifies, Wayne, for sure, my brother. Hey, thanks for sharing. We love you on the show.
Not
Hope the Reward Fleet that goes out there keeps catching those big fish. And
let's go fishing.
Go fishing, baby. You got it.
Wayne, real quick question.
Go ahead.
The dust bite, are you getting a lot of blackfin?
Yes.
Awesome.
Blackfins.
There you go.
Blackfins. And they're late. And the cloudier, the better, of course. But late, Captain David, I got a new young captain that's just rampant fisherman. This kid's great. And he stayed out an extra half an hour, and they caught like 4 or 5 tunas just in that big, 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 bang moment, And,
nice.
It's we try to adjust our fishing. So you look for stuff on Facebook, and folks can jump on a boat and go out at prime time. I mean, prime time is prime time.
Right.
Whether you're vertical jiggers, I don't care if you slow pitch, speed pitch, whatever. Jigs work great.
There you go.
And as do live pilchards and chunking. So
all right. Well, thanks, Wayne.
Thanks,
love you,
Wayne.
Man. Have a great day.
All right, gentlemen. You too. Thanks.
All right. Clock says I got to stop here, Joe. We have our big wrap-up with our good friend Pat out of Shenanigans coming up next.
Great.
He's got a great fish dish and a great fish story to tell.
Awesome.
And maybe we'll get a little news about your tournament coming up as well, all right?
Yeah.
7:44, 940 wins Miami Sports.
South Florida fishermen know that this is blue water country, where big fish, big water, and big expectations sit right offshore. So we build blue water boats for the blue water fishermen, where yacht-grade construction meets 21st century technology. And compromise? Well, we leave that for the other guys. You can customize your own blue water boat by visiting BlueWaterSportFishingBoats.com and discover why boating is better on a blue water.
When it comes to kayak fishing, Nautical Ventures knows what you need to catch fish. They carry top brands from Hobie, Ocean, Wilderness, Old Town, Perception, Necky, and are experts in rigging your kayak. They'll customize your kayak with fishing amenities, lights, depth finders, and anything else that fits your personal fishing style. Nautical Ventures has the largest and latest selection of kayaks and accessories in stock, and you can try it before you buy it in their exclusive Aqua Zone. Go to nauticalventures.com for more details. Nautical Ventures, the go-to people for kayak fishing.
I'm George Poveromo, and I've made washing and detailing my boat an art. I'll avoid dish soap, which quickly strips away protective wax coatings and even begins eating into the gel coat. For me, it's Starbright Boat Washes exclusively. They're specifically formulated to keep boat surfaces impeccably clean and protected without stripping wax finishes. Available in pine, citrus, and blueberry scents. Go to Starbright.com to find a retailer near you. Starbright. Clean and protect.
Hear that? That's the sound of confidence. The sound of confidence brought to you by Nationwide Battery. For over 30 years, boaters and fishermen have counted on Nationwide to fire up their engines, to keep their electronics going, week after week,
year after year. They have the largest selection of batteries at the best prices, with dockside installation available. If you count on your boat, then count on Nationwide Battery. Visit them at nationwide-battery.com. Nationwide Batteries, the sound of confidence.
One time he forgot to fuel up the boat. And it wouldn't be the first time he left his tackle box behind. On one trip he even headed out without his lucky hat. And seems he almost always forgets to wear his sunscreen. But he never forgets to wear the one thing that could save his life. Life jackets save lives. Wear it, Florida.
Visit myfwc.com for more information.
Nissan believes you deserve a car that thrills you.
I got a little bit of time to say hello to anybody here in this last break.
So, Nick Brentiello saying the Exotic was very hard with the wind. Well, we know that. Joe saw that. Okay. It was tough with the wind, yeah.
Yes.
Danny Banks, my friend, good morning to you. Sorry, good English bloke. Frank George.
Because it should. And if your car doesn't thrill you,
Bart Hetfield.
This is the new Nissan.
I realize we got folks streaming up from all over the country, Joe. We had one guy who was leaving for Panama this morning out of someplace up north. I don't know.
Yeah, that was pretty good. He fished the Sailfish Smackdown. He came from, I believe, South Carolina, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Down for your tournament?
Yeah.
Oh, outstanding.
Yeah, he fished the Sailfish Smackdown.
Bro. Yeah, nice.
So, you know what's cool? With the tournaments, and an angler came up to me and said this, and he said, your tournaments are so different because you go from sailfish in the winter, and this is all on kayaks. Right. You go from sailfish to peacocks and exotics to meat fish with wahoo, tuna, kingfish. 3 totally different events.
But you got different species all covered.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Great, dude. Yeah.
You know, so
you've waited long enough. Bring on spring.
Let's see a kayaker pull up
now at the Home Depot. Outdoors get more done.
Jewfish.
April 18th while supplies last.
Yeah, it's happened quite a few times.
What?
Yeah, man. I can get a guy to call in for that.
You found the secret spot to get your fishing in. The Nautical Ventures Weekly Fisherman Show. I wanna go fishing. Powered by Mercury Marine. I don't ever wanna stop. With Eric Brandon and Joe Hector. Brought to you by Pompano Ford and Pompano Lincoln. An easy way to car. Anything you want to know about fishing or boating, troll us at 866-801-0940.
Holy cow. This is more serious than I thought.
Watch the show live on the Nautical Ventures Facebook page.
We'll certainly look forward to that.
The Nautical Ventures Weekly Fisherman Show.
Welcome back. Last segment, of course, fire up those pots and pans, baby. To Shenanigans we go with our good friend Pat Utter, who's caught all the fish in his day.
Yeah.
But it cooks up a mean fish dish. See if Pat's on line number 1, the star line. Pat, hello, my friend.
How's it going, Pat?
Good morning. What a great show. Fantastic.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, I was just looking at Shenanigans specials, and I didn't realize that this week we not only had Maryland crab dip, we have Thai coconut clams, fresh clams.
God.
We have a mahi mango with the pico de gallo, which I've done before on top of the mahi.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like all the specials are all seafood because the clinchers, Antonio's, I named it. I went to Italy with dear friends of ours, Stephanie and Antonio Di Filippo, and they took us to southern Italy, and I kind of perfected this seafood pescador. So we call it Antonio's Seafood Pescador.
Man.
And what we do is we saute up fresh mahi in olive oil. We take some olive oil and we sear the mahi, and we also sear the shrimp. And I hate to always give you my little secrets. We don't always just use extra virgin olive oil. There, once again, we'll put a little bit of butter and we'll give that fish a nice, really nice little tasty sear, and we'll put in some garlic. Then what we do is we make ourselves our homemade marinara sauce, which is pretty much a pretty simple, straightforward marinara sauce. We take olive oil and then whole garlic, and we don't dice up the garlic. We leave it whole. We give it a little cut, and we saute that up, and then we take the best San Marzano tomatoes we can. We crush them, whole tomatoes, into the pot. We cook this marinara sauce for we're not heavy with that hour and a half, 2 hour cook down with the the old style. We do it light and lively, about 30 minutes. We make a marinara sauce. So in the meantime, we've seared off the mahi, and we've seared off the shrimp, and we have set aside the mussels and the clams. Now, what gives us a little bit more punch is that marinara sauce. We take it, and we'll start another frying pan up, and we'll take the marinara sauce, and we'll hit it in the frying pan, and then we throw in the mussels and the clams, and we let them open up that beautiful ocean's taste with all the essence of this ocean going right into the marinara sauce, and then we'll put the shrimp, which have been maybe a minute seared on each side, and the mahi, which has been cooked for probably on each side 3 to 4 minutes, and then we'll just let that just bubble and stew and get all the flavors of all the seafood in there, and we'll cook that for probably about five more minutes. It doesn't take long until we'll reach in and we'll see the mahi pieces. We don't give a whole piece of mahi. We give it in like chunks, about 4-ounce chunks, and we'll make sure that they're flaky. And then we'll pour that over some nice pasta. We serve it with garlic bread, and it's the unbelievable cheap price of $21.99 at Shenanigans, named after my friend Antonio.
Pat Utter, that sounded amazing, my friend Joe. Come on,
when he added in the garlic bread, I'm like,
it comes with garlic bread. Thank you, Joe.
Oh yeah, I love it.
How are you going to get that for? I just got back from a run with the family down to Key West. I had a wonderful time. Saw a bunch of friends. They had a Sailfish tournament down there. Freddie David and the whole crew was down there, and I couldn't believe the prices. They get more for an appetizer than I do an entree.
You're a bargain, Pat. I mean, and food is just phenomenal, man.
Thank you very much.
We love you to death, man.
And Pat, I got to say, Maria, my wife, she loves your segment because she loves to cook.
Yeah.
And she just always likes to hear, different recipes and different ways of doing things.
Yeah,
so
he does it right, man.
Joe, I know that I was listening to you, and I know you've been catching a lot of fish. You don't always have to. I have, I get a lot of seafood, so I have mussels and clams. But anything you feel like doing, if you have tuna, even that blackfin tuna that everybody's talking about, and swordfish, all that with the Italian flair. A little Italian herbs on top. We use a little Italian parsley to decorate it and everything. You being conscious about weight and health and working out, it's a delicious thing, and you don't have and my wife is the same way, which when you say the best catch, I have to say she's the best catch in my life. Awesome. Is we always use whole wheat pasta. Little secret, like
nice.
You don't have to just get the bleached out white pasta.
Right.
Well, Pat, we love you, man. We got to rock and roll. But Robert Sylvia, one of our streamers, says, great recipe.
Yeah.
So thank you, Pat.
Yeah. Pat, we really appreciate it.
Love
And
you,
listen,
man.
Maria and I got to get in there and definitely
for sure. All of us.
come. Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah. Just all of us come in and just, I want to meet you in person, man, and sit down and have a good meal.
I'm looking forward to it. We are rocking and rolling. Everything is boomerang back. People are out having a great time. They bring up that they love being part of the show, and you guys just keep rocking and rolling. We're heading into the good time of year.
Thank you, Pat. All right, buddy.
Thank you, Pat.
Joe, you got a quick second, man? Do you want to name your winner from last weekend before we go this morning?
Yeah, so Julie Garber, female angler.
Yeah.
Won the exotic bass roundup.
Wow, that's incredible, man.
Yes.
I met her personally, and she was beaming, man. And she won some money, too, bro.
Yeah, and so she won top prize from Nautical Ventures, $2,000.
Sweet.
She also won a custom-made peacock bass mount trophy on real driftwood. Nice. Beautiful piece of art. And her peacock was 4.11 pounds. And I'll tell you what, with the amount we had 71 anglers for this tournament. So for her to go out and win not only the whole tournament, but she also won the ladies division too. Yeah. And she won a Power Core rod, custom rod. Nice. And it was just great, to have her come out, and her and her husband have fished my tournaments for years, and it's been great. Okay.
Ricardo's saying, I got to get out of here and wrap this thing up. Okay. Jeff DeForest is coming up next with the Big Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Joe, thanks for the mahi and worms. I'll have that thought over breakfast this morning. Stephen J. Gray, thank you. Ricardo, thank you guys. Streamers on Facebook, thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Have a great weekend. Keep it here at 940 Wins Miami Sports. We'll see you.
Yeah, I didn't have time to get into them, but can I name them now? Oh, okay. All right, we're still on. Great. So just to give you guys a brief summary of the winners, we had, I'm going to pull this up because obviously some of these names I can't pronounce well, so I might butcher them. Sorry, guys. Second place was Ariel Liez with 3.95 pound peacock bass. He won $1,000 from Yak Gear. Third place was Daniel Steen, 3.9 pounds. He won $500 from Yak Gear. And I'm going to go to fourth place. So Cristobal Collin with 3.4 pounds won $250 from Yak Gear. And I also have to mention our top junior angler, awesome, Jack O'Donnell with 3-pound peacock bass. Yeah, awesome. He won a custom exotic bass rod from PowerCore.
Awesome stuff, Joe.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man. Hey, thanks for having me on, man. And
as always,
we're excited for the future of that tournament. We really are.
And rocking that big boy coming up in June, man.
Yeah,
man, it's getting close.
I'm ready.
Good luck. Peace out.
Bye,
bye, guys. Love you.